What's going on, y'all? It's the Marketing Main Podcast. I'm your host, Brian. I'm here with my co-host.
Avery, what's going on, y'all?
So what's up, Avery? How's your week going?
It's going great so far. Can't complain. Week's now starting up. Got a few wins. Able to help some people repair their credit without using credit repair. So I saved them a few $100 there. How about you? How's everything going with you?
It's been a good week so far. I mean, wins. I got a few clients that are looking to do some headshots.
Oh.
Trying to really get into that corporate space of helping people out with their corporate headshots, getting into corporate events. I'm really angling myself towards the corporate world, which is where I've always wanted to end up anyway. But yeah, I can't complain. No losses, I could say. What about you? Anything bad happened this week, or
I mean, the only thing probably bad that happened to me was I try not to count the bads. I always try to count the wins and the losses as a lesson. You know what I mean?
So instead of wins and losses, wins and lessons.
Yeah,
I like that.
I don't
Actually,
I don't like thinking about the
we're
lead.
gonna trademark that. I like that. I like to say it like that. It's a good one.
I mean, if you just think about all the losses that you do, you're never gonna accept the wins, or it's never gonna be enough wins.
Well,
you're gonna lose more than you win.
That's a fact.
You know what I mean? It's just what it is.
Yeah. So I mean, last week we was talking about networking events and getting into that type of space. Have you been to any networking events since?
I've been to a few, man, and you know, I don't know what it is. Every networking event that I've gone to, I feel like dudes ain't really like dressing the character, dressing the part that they should if they're networking, no matter what profession you're in. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I feel like every time when I go out to a networking event, I've even been told this, like, you're like the sharpest dressed guy in the room, but I like to dress up.
Yeah.
But I just don't understand, why wouldn't you want to dress up to market yourself? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
remember before with me and you, I used to argue with you to dress up. You're like, don't wear no white t-shirt.
What about it? But I mean, when you think about it, I mean, we in Florida, so I feel like a lot of people, especially Polk County, where it's a little country, to be honest. I feel like people are more likely to be a little bit more laid back.
Yeah, but I don't even feel like that matters. I feel like if you want to go out and you want to make a first impression on somebody, you got to be dressed nice. You got to smell nice. Like, I feel like those are things that I look at when I talk to somebody. Like, if you dress down and, like, let's say if you go to a networking event, you wear basketball shorts and a white tee.
Yeah.
I might say hi to you, but I'm not gonna want to entertain a conversation with you after that. You know what I mean? Just because the first impression means a lot.
Yeah.
You know, it's just a psychological thing.
Well, what's your take on this? I mean, I think networking events is one thing, but even like when you're doing business, because I know that's a big thing for you too, is like, dressing up, if you're going to like a business meeting or something like that. Sometimes I feel like you also have to know your client or know your potential client. Like, for example, like I'm imagining like if I was to come to Polk County or somewhere that's like, a little bit more country, a little bit more laid back, and I'm a big shot from New York. I got a brand new Porsche Lambo, and I got, a crazy $10,000 suit. That might turn people off. What do you think? Like, I mean, like I feel like sometimes you might look like you're a little bit trying to do too much, depending, like, even if that's you, but like I feel like to some extent you also have to know your crowd.
I mean, like, if that's you, that's you. You can't change who you are. That's why people hire you, because of who you are and what you offer. And if you got a Porsche and you wear a $10,000 suit, great, go ahead for it. But I mean, for me, I realized you don't gotta wear a suit all the time. Nice pair of jeans, a nice pair of shoes, a nice button down, and if you could throw a blazer on, throw a blazer on.
Yeah.
That's it. You don't gotta do nothing you don't have to be dressed crazy like in a suit or anything like that, like what we've been taught like in the past.
Yeah.
You know, like when they used to go back in the day, like I remember, at least with my grandparents, they would be like, when you go to the church, when you go to the bank and you want to get a loan, you got to put on your Sunday's best.
Yeah.
And they would dress up to go to the bank, and all they going to do is just take out like $20 or something.
Yeah.
Like, why?
Yeah. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. I mean, I guess there's levels to it. Like sometimes you should always try to look the part, but also I don't know. Sometimes I feel like some people like try not to overdo it, because like I can't imagine now maybe the person with the Porsche and the $10,000 suit isn't going to the country area or the.
Well, let me tell you something. I'm gonna cut you off real quick. Everybody I seen who got a Porsche, they ain't wearing no $10,000 suit. They might have a Rolex on if they want to, but they're not wearing a suit. They're wearing sweats.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's just what I've seen. But
yeah. So, do you wear suits most of the time when you go to these events?
No, hell no. I live in Florida.
Okay. You see, that's why.
But I put on a nice blazer and I put on a nice pair of jeans. And if you buy the right fabric, obviously from my background in retail at Suit City, if you wear the right fabric, it's not going to be that thick or it's not going to feel that hot. You just got to know how to wear it. And I feel like if you dress better, you feel better. And if you feel better, you work a lot better. Like, for example, with me going into this industry now full time and starting to work from home, when I first started, I would never dress up. I would just be working at home in like my basketball shorts and a tank top, but I didn't feel motivated. So I started waking up now, started putting on a regular uniform, and I feel a lot better when I'm making calls. I feel a lot more confident. Like it's a psychological thing.
Yeah, I feel that.
I just always feel like when you dress good, you feel good. And when you feel good, you do better.
I know Deion Sanders had a quote like that back in the days. Feel good.
Who had that quote?
Deion Sanders, remember that quote he said? He used to say,
Deion who?
Deion Sanders, the football player.
Oh, I don't watch football, dude.
Come on, man. But you're from Florida.
Yeah, I'm from Florida.
But you don't watch sports.
No.
Who's this guy, man?
I was never into sports as a kid.
I always really got to get into this guy.
I was never into sports as a kid. I was always that kid trying to just get money. I didn't care about sports. Like, it just wasn't me.
Okay. So, I mean, another thing that I was thinking about this week is, more on the lines of like the marketing and the networking, and it kind of goes in line with what we were just talking about, like being yourself. I think, a lot of people, they go to these events and they're trying to like button themselves up and be like somebody they're not. But I think it's really important to market to who you are as well. Like, if you are an athlete, somebody that's into sports, if you are a Caribbean person, if you are, Hispanic and you just really want to, like, you don't have to go outside of your box all the time. Like, there's people that, we live in a very diverse country where there's people that can, bring you business in any area. So if you're a person that, likes whatever you like, or you're from whatever community, I think there's so much benefit from just doubling down on your community first, because, a lot of people say like your own people don't support you. But I think if you really, I don't think that's true. Like, I feel like if you really go into your community and really show value and show that you're good at what you do, you're going to get naysayers, but you're also going to get people that are down to give you some money,
In my honest opinion, I've had more benefit of getting business outside of people that I know.
Yeah, but it doesn't have to necessarily be somebody that's like totally outside of your culture. Like, it doesn't have to be a family member. Obviously, family and friends. But what do you think?
I mean, well, wait, what was the question again?
I'm talking about, like,
you said a lot just now in that spiel, and I'm like, which one do I answer?
Yeah, I was talking about, like, going to events and going into marketing into your own, like, your own niche. Like, if you're a foodie, if you're a Caribbean person, if you're, whatever you are, like, it's okay to dive into what you.
Yeah, no, 100%. That's because that's being you. That's showing who you are. But I mean, you gotta limit it in what I feel like. So, not saying if you're a foodie, don't be a foodie, or your Caribbean culture, what's a damn word I'm looking for? Don't like hide where you're from, right? Or what you like. I totally agree with that. But when it comes to, from my professional standpoint, is you mention it and you keep it moving.
Yeah.
The reason why I say you mention it is because people want to know who they're working with, right? On a personal level too. Yeah. Remember, in my industry, we're talking about one of the biggest purchases you're ever going to make. And you got to know something about me. You can't just know I do this for a living and you got to know something personal about me, at least one thing. But you never let it get to the point to when it comes too much, because at the end of the day, it's about your client, or it's about the person who you're meeting with networking. Like I actually did, I met up with a realtor for coffee a few weeks ago, and I found out she was Trinidadian. Well, not even Trinidadian, but she grew up in a Trinidadian household. And I was like, oh, so you know about soca music, and I'm Guyanese, and it's chicken curry, not curry chicken.
Yeah.
I know I'm gonna get some hate for that, but that's all good. I said it the right way.
You were right.
So long story short, like after we got that out of the way, it did change the dynamic of our conversation. I felt like we were more loosened. You know what I'm saying? Like it was more like, okay, we can shoot the shoot and just go about it how we go about it. Like you're not gonna judge me based on how I speak or how I act. You know what I mean? If anything, you might find it amusing because it's like, oh, I didn't know that Guyanese people said this or Trinidadian people say that, because that's like a thing. Or with any Caribbean country. But yeah, I do feel like you do need to express yourself at some extent. But that doesn't mean that you can't go dress nice either. Like you still gotta,
I mean, if I'm from the Caribbean, I could pop out with the, the Jamaican shirts with the net, net t-shirt, pull up to a meeting.
Don't do that. I swear to God, if you do that to a networking meeting, I think some people might be terrified. Nah.
Yeah, well.
You know what's crazy? My dad actually still wears those shirts. And he's proud of it.
It's real.
Yeah.
Shout out to Papa Avery. I like that.
I don't know if he'll ever watch this, but hi, Dad.
Shout out.
Hello. I mean, how do you feel about dressing up? Because remember when we first started going out, like I said in the beginning.
Nah, you dragging it now.
Nah.
Dragging it, talking about
it was true. Like you talk about me, I always dressed up.
Well, I mean, he dragging the part about how he had to force me to dress up. Like, don't let him get into you guys' heads. Like I always got that ish on. It's just, we never did networking stuff together, so I was never wearing a suit or something like that. But, I'll put it together if I need to.
I think we know what we got to get you for Christmas, dog.
What's that?
A nice suit or a blazer or something.
Nice suit or
a might have to get you a blazer that has Market and Maine on it in the back or something.
I'm down.
I think that's the only way you go and wear it.
I got a couple suits, but I don't like to wear suits that much.
We gonna get on suits and fabric in a whole nother episode.
No, I'm waiting for. I'm a little chunky. I'm a little chunky right
Me too, dog.
I'm a little chunky, but give me a couple months, hit that summer bod, and you go see. I'm gonna start stepping out.
We'll see what your fiance says about you and your summer bod.
Summer bod. We all stepping. You've been in the gym lately too, so I mean, we all gonna be stepping out. We could go on a vacation, summertime on the beach. You feel me? Come back and wear some suits. Go to some networking events.
Yeah, I don't really like the beach that much.
But you're from the Caribbean.
I'm not from the Caribbean.
From Canada.
Canada.
Sorry. Yeah.
All right, let's get it. Let's just get something straight. You say in the Caribbean, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever see a nice beach in Guyana? It's all brown.
We got like 63 beach.
It's brown water.
We got
brown water there, boy.
The beach has nothing to do with the water. It has to do with the sand. It's a beach. No? We got the seawall. We got some sand right there.
Lord help this child.
It's a beach. I'm just saying, it's a beach. All the Guyanese in the chat, let them know what I'm talking about. Guyana, GT nice, right?
It's nice. Yeah, I had a great time when I went. I loved it there. But, nah. Anyways, so back to our discussion, since we just went on a whole rabbit hole about something else. I feel like at some point we're gonna have to do an episode about what we think about Guyana and like really go into it.
Down for that.
Because I feel like for example, like with me just growing up, like I never knew that Black people were from Guyana. I just thought it was all Indians.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure there were a few other people who felt the same way.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's for a next conversation next time.
Okay.
I like your watch, by the way.
Thanks. Like yours too. Like your shoes. Put yourself together nice today.
That's how you gotta put that on, dog. You gotta put that on.
So what else going on this week? You got any plans for the rest of the week, business wise, personal wise? What else?
Personal wise, like you said, I started going back to the gym. So my goal is to go back into the gym. trying to go at least 3 to 4 times in a week. And also, I actually got to fix my gazebo in the backyard because the gazebo's like falling apart, and hurricane season's right around the corner.
Yeah.
So we got to get that done.
Got a generator?
No. Real Floridians don't have a generator. We go through it on a hurricane, okay?
I can't.
When a hurricane comes, we throw a hurricane party. We get some beer, we get the barbecue started, and we hang out until the power go out.
So I'm a businessman. I need to be connected at all times. I'm like getting calls, got business to do.
If you call me during a hurricane about business, I'm not going to answer you.
You're getting a call, somebody trying to call you about a mortgage when they credited you. Can't help.
How you going to call me during a hurricane if the power's out by me? The power's 9 times out of 10 going to be out by them too.
In Tallahassee.
The hurricanes that have been coming lately are big, bro. It's gonna get caught up. And plus, not to mention, if there is a natural disaster that does happen during the time, if you have a pending transaction or something, especially with FEMA, because flood zones and all that stuff, it could actually delay your closing.
That's a good point you're talking about with this hurricane thing. I mean, I know a lot of people, you growing up in Florida, a lot of people say like growing up, Florida, hurricanes used to come from the Atlantic and now they seem to be coming from the Gulf on the west side. Like, have you noticed like that same experience of like it's like totally different from the way it used to be hurricane-wise?
Geographically, I never knew, and I still don't.
You just know.
I just know a hurricane. I just know a hurricane is coming. I got to get ready. I could tell you, I was here in 2004 when we had 3 hurricanes back to back, and I remember like we missed half of that school year. Like I remember school started. And then I think within like the second week of school, we were out of school because we had Hurricane Charlie coming in. Now, that was the worst hurricane I ever experienced. I know prior to like in the 90s or something, I think there was Andrew, but I wasn't even a thought or an idea. So I don't really care about that. But Charlie, I remember like the power was out. People was going to stay in hotels. Like I remember at one point we stayed at a hotel because our power was out.
You sure school was out that long, or that's what you told your parents so you don't have to?
No, school was really out. I was in 4th grade. I didn't have a criminal mind until like 7th, 8th grade.
Okay.
And most of my criminal mind came when I was living in New York.
You keep doing this thing about
because I had more time and ideas to think about stuff. Like if I'm growing up you got to think about it. In Orlando, when I was growing up, there wasn't much to do. Like we had city transportation. We had the Lynx bus, but it wasn't like New York transportation. Like if you're in New York, you could think about it. You can be in Queens and then you can go to Brooklyn within like 30 minutes or vice versa. Or you can even end up in Manhattan. There was no way for that here. Like it was still technically slow here. Like even where we live at now in Polk County, we never came here. This was just the entryway that you passed to get to Tampa.
So like back to what I was saying with like Tampa and stuff right now. I mean, know that you're like also a realtor. Like, do you hear people saying that like they're worried about moving to this side or moving to Tampa because of hurricanes and stuff like that?
I have heard people say that they are concerned about moving to Tampa. The main thing that I find when people are moving to Florida or relocating in Florida is they're looking more at like if they need to get flood insurance or not. And for whatever surprising reason, there's not a lot, at least in my opinion, I haven't done that much transactions in Tampa. It's not that much flood zones depending on where you are.
Do you think that's like accurate or is that something that needs to be updated?
Well, actually FEMA updates it.
Okay.
I think I'm not sure if it's every year. Don't quote me on that, but I do know that FEMA does normally and regularly update the statuses of if it's a flood zone or if it's not a flood zone. And usually if it's not a flood zone, you don't need flood insurance. Like a lot of people who come from out of state, they're like, Florida floods. I was like, no, it doesn't. It doesn't flood everywhere. I got some people that I know, they're like, are there alligators? They're like, yeah, there's alligators, but they're not by us.
Yeah, I always assumed I'd just see alligators everywhere.
That's that New York
and snakes and bears and.
Remember, there was a bear here a few months ago before you moved here.
That's crazy. It's not for me. Not for me. The most alarming thing for me was finding out that I can't even like do anything about it. Like if I see an animal, I'll have to like retreat and That's kind of scary to me.
Well, actually a fun fact. So when I was in school here and I was in the 3rd grade, I remember that they had to, because we lived in Florida, they had to teach us how to run away from an alligator.
Wow.
And it's in a zigzag, by the way, for those who don't know.
But I've seen videos of like real Florida people, like they'll go and catch the alligator and throw them in the garbage bin and wrestle them and stuff like that. Are you those type of?
But that's actually illegal, so you can't actually assault an alligator.
Assault an alligator?
Like you can't wrestle with an alligator. Like what you see people doing online, like you're legally not supposed to do that. It's like if an alligator's at your, like if you see an alligator, you can't go shoot an alligator just because you see an alligator, especially if it's not harming you. Now, if it's harming you, that might be a different story, but I'm not an alligator expert.
Okay. You ever like gotten a close call with an alligator or anything like that?
No.
Really?
Yeah, I've snakes definitely, but never an alligator.
I can't deal with snakes either, man. That's scary territory for me.
All you got to do is cut it. Actually, I see there was a few months, actually before my wedding, there was a snake in our garage.
And what'd you do?
I cut him up, Island Boy style. What you mean? The Guyanese inside of me came out, and I grabbed a big cutlass and chop him up.
See, if I saw the snake, the South Florida would have came out of me. I heard the Draco, so you would have heard it.
That ain't gonna work.
To go hit something or somebody.
It wasn't a big snake. I think it was like a garden snake. So it wasn't even anything like, oh my God, like I'm the crocodile hunt. No, it was just a little garden snake, I think. But I mean, it was just terrifying. It's a snake. I don't like snakes, just like I don't like rats. Like if I see a rat, like I'm gonna just run away. I
can't deal with rats either. And I've never had a rat in my house, and I'm from New York. But that's the stigma of New York, that we got a bunch of rats. That's not something I'm accustomed to.
I don't think everybody has a bunch of rats. I don't think everybody's house has rats in it.
In New York?
Yeah.
That's like a stereotype.
Yeah, it's a stereotype, yeah.
Like rats in like the subway and all of that type of stuff.
So how you doing with your credit?
My credit's pretty good. I mean, I bought a house last year, so it's gonna take a dip.
Yeah, I sold you the house.
But yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
But I'm sure it's okay now, but it's gonna be a while before I buy another house, so hopefully I don't have to use it for anything. How about yours?
My credit's actually good. I maintain my credit very well. I actually remember when I was getting out of debt when I first met my wife.
Yeah.
And I told her, I was like, listen, I've been like on this crazy goal to get out of debt. And I got out of debt within 6 months. Like I had no credit card debt. I was the happiest person in the world.
Yeah.
And lately what I've been seeing is, a lot of people, particularly now in this market, they want to go buy a house now. And they're not worried about the interest rates, which, by the way, interest rates are still very low from where they've been back in the 80s or 60s. You know what I mean? Because
right now,
they're like around 6.5%, 7%, But back in the 70s and 80s, you're talking about an interest rate that was like maybe 12 to 15%.
The houses were like $50,000 still, bro.
Yeah, but think about it, right? You're paying a 15% interest rate for 30 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, you paid $40,000 for the house, but you paid a 15% interest rate.
Yeah. I always say I messed up. I moved to Florida late. I should have came like a few years ago when those houses were cheaper and the interest rates were better.
Yeah, but all this inventory wasn't even here.
Yeah, that's true too.
I mean, even when the rates were better, you had more buyers on the market. So with all the buyers on the market, you couldn't get seller concessions or anything like that. People were overpaying for houses.
So do you work with like a lot of investors and stuff like that?
I work with a few investors, and investors don't really care about the rate.
Yeah.
It's about the payment. And it's the same thing for a consumer, in my opinion, too. It's about the payment, not the interest rate. Because if you can afford it, then you should do it, right? It's like when you go buy a car, I rarely hear people complain about the interest rate. Like back when I was in banking and I used to do auto loans, I never heard anybody complain to me about the interest rate. Very rarely I would, and I would just be like, I'm with a credit union. The only way the dealership is going to beat me is by giving you 0% interest, which the interest is already technically on the back of the loan anyway.
Yeah.
So
that's a good point. Like I think most of the time when people are getting a car, they're really only thinking about the payment. Like,
Yeah, you
I'll
don't
pay
care about what the
400,
interest rate
500 a
is.
month. Like, that's all I care.
I know some people, dude, who get like, I'm not discriminating on anybody, but the people who got the Dodge Challengers, some of y'all paid way too much for that car, and you don't even know it.
Bad. I was a Charger guy, actually. I really wanted a Charger back in the day.
Yeah, and you know Chargers don't hold their value unless you have all the extra gizmos and all that stuff in it. So I know some dudes, man, who was financing them at like 15, 17%. Like dealership, like stuck it up.
My first car was, I think, 17%. The first car I got, an Infinity. It's bad.
You had an Infinity?
Yeah, but the SUV had QX60.
I don't find that surprising. You're Guyanese, so you know Guyanese like they Nissan, Infinity, and all that. But yeah, no. I mean, focusing on the payment is definitely a good thing. But a lot of people don't realize is like even when they get that car from the dealership will also tell them like you have to wait 3 to 6 months to refinance. You don't.
Yeah.
You can do it immediately. They only do tell you to wait so the bank can pay them, and it's a whole thing.
Yeah.
But
so how does because I know we do all these videos all the time, you know. I don't think I've ever seen you do one for like about investors. Like what's that product? I mean, you know, you got the FHA, VA, all those type of loans. What's it like if you're trying to just purely for investment?
It depends on what you want to do. So like for example, if you want to be an investor, there is a loan out there that basically you get approved if the rent is more than the mortgage, you can get the house done. We don't check your W-2s, they don't check your pay stubs. And to make it more simplistic, if the mortgage is $2,000, but you can rent the house for $2,500, that's it. It's called a DSCR loan. One thing I've learned is I don't like using mortgage jargon when I speak to people about products and services.
Yeah.
Because you probably just said in your head, what the hell is DSCR? Yeah. And I've made videos about it, and you've made them as well for me. Yeah. But it's one of those things like not everybody's going to know about it. But it's a really cool product because you can build your real estate portfolio like that very easily. And the cool thing is you can close under an LLC and it doesn't report to your credit. As in like, so if you want to go back again and you want to go get another one based on your own personal credit, it's not going to count on there because that's going to be under your business. And then plus it'll be paying for itself. At least it should be paying for itself, right? And
how much percent do you need to have for those?
So to start off, you gotta have 50, you gotta have 20. There are some programs that do allow you to have 15%, but that also qualifies with your credit score, how long you've been doing it, etc. You know, one of the other ways too that you technically could build a real estate portfolio, believe it or not, is FHA. So if you work remotely, right? Let's say, for example, you work remote, right? You have a house here. Let's say you wanted to move 100 miles away. And this is the trick, 100 miles away. Because you work remote, as long as you live 100 miles away from the first primary residence that you bought as FHA, you can use FHA again. Same 3.5% down. You got to live in it for a year. Boom. Yeah. A lot of people don't know that. A lot of people always get it misconcepted of FHA is a first-time buyer. Yeah. And it's not.
I know a lot of people that they'll rinse and repeat that and get like, you know, 2 families, 3 families. I think it's up to 4 families they're allowed to get with FHA.
You can get up to a 4 family, yeah.
But are there a lot of multifamilies out here?
In Central Florida, no. Growing up, I've never seen a lot of multifamily. Like the only thing we have down here, which would kind of consider being maybe a multifamily, like a duplex or quadplex, something like that. But there's not that much. I mean, in New York, I know like multifamilies were a thing. Like I remember people would use their single family house and they would build a whole contraption just to build a multifamily to collect rent. Like, I thought it was crazy. Like even my uncle, he tried to do it, and I was like,
everybody's had to done that, especially Guyanese and Caribbean people. Like,
yeah, but
some of them have no business being landlords.
Yeah, but they're like slumlords, dog.
Yeah. I think recently, I mean, that they kind of trying to change the laws to allow people to like legally bring their place up to standards so they could actually rent it out, like legally. So that's pretty good.
I mean, but you have to legally put in the right equipment and the right, you know, installation. You can't just do whatever you want. Yeah. You know?
Mhm. Yeah, man. I mean, one of the last things I wanted to ask you, like, if I'm trying to buy a house, like in the next 6 months to 12 months, you know, whether it's credit, whatever, like, what advice would you have for me?
Um, I'm gonna tell you straight up. First, start saving your money and look at your credit.
Mhm.
Check your credit like every day, every other day. If you got credit card balances, bring your credit card balances down to 10%.
Mhm.
If you don't need to apply for anything, like a car loan or a new credit card, don't apply for anything.
Mhm.
Um, if you got personal loans, any kind of debt that you have, just bring it down. Now, if you can bring it down to the utilization of 30%, that's okay, but 10% is what makes that big difference.
Mhm.
And I've seen this happen a lot when people are like, I need to go to credit repair or whatever. You don't need to go to credit repair. You got collections on the report, you could do it yourself.
Mhm.
You don't need credit repair.
Mhm.
Now, not that I'm not knocking anybody who does credit repair. I highly respect the people who do because they're taking the time to actually do it for another person. But you don't have to pay somebody to do it. You could do it yourself.
Yeah.
All you have to do is create the letters for the credit bureau to dispute what you want to dispute.
Yeah.
You mail it in to the bureau directly. Now, it takes about 30 to 45 days. It could take a month, 2 months, depending, right? But if you're waiting 6 to 12 months from now, you could find the time to do that and you save that money.
Mhm.
Because I've known some people who do credit repair, dude, and they get no results.
Mhm.
And it sucks.
I've done that before and gotten no results, so I know.
You did credit repair?
A long time ago, not like recently, but a long time ago. Yeah.
Okay, like did you do it for yourself or did you do it as like
Did
I
it for
do
myself.
credit? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you paid somebody to do it.
Mhm.
How'd that work? How did that go? Like,
Um.
first of all, what made you think that you needed credit repair?
My credit was bad. Like when I first started getting credit and stuff like that, I was just getting stupid loans and stuff like that and running my credit because I didn't know hitting the apply button like counts as a inquiry. So like my credit was bad and I just wanted to, like go on social media, people advertising. Those were the early days when people were like business gurus and they were saying, hit me up, pay me $500, I'll fix your credit. Ghost me. Pay the money, ghost me.
You got scammed.
Yeah. I had a friend actually in Atlanta.
Oh, you got scammed.
I had a,
Oh,
I
damn.
had a boy in Atlanta. He had somebody that he said was really good, and I think it was $900. I didn't have it at the time. I probably would have paid it too, but like this person was like came highly recommended that I never got the chance to see if they would have made it work. But I know there was a time back in the day when there were people that had like a system where they could really like they knew people behind the closed doors that they could really get your stuff removed. But I mean, if you know one of those people's,
I just told you
like,
the process. You
but
just
I'm
have
saying like there were people that knew like
No, I just
the
told you the
the
process.
the way to like
You
really
said,
get it removed. Like
yeah, you got to
make a phone call.
but you just got to word it out properly and you got to call and follow up.
Yeah.
That's all you got to do.
Mm.
I mean, there's Chat GPT, there's Google Gemini, there's Claude, there's all these AI things.
Yeah.
Use AI as a tool to help you out. AI will give you a script on what to put on the letter to print out and send out.
Yeah.
You There's no excuse,
Mhm.
I feel like, in today's world to like if you really want to fix your credit. The other thing I recommend too is like don't close out credit cards. Like I've seen people who close out. I remember my mom, for example, there was a credit card that she had for a long time, and she was like, "Oh, I don't use it, so I'm gonna just close it out." And I was like, I think she had like a $7,000 or $8,000 limit on. I was like, "Mom, why would you close that?" She's like, "Oh, I don't use it." Da, 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 da. I was like, "No, man, leave it open."
Yeah.
She still ended up closing it.
Yeah. Most people, Caribbean people don't really
I
get
was just
credit
like, you know
either.
what? You big and you have sense. That's when the you big and you have sense thing was a whole meme. I said that to her and I was like, boom.
Yeah.
Dropped her score and then she was like, my score dropped and I don't know what happened. I said, because you closed out the card and I told you not to. Just leave it open.
Yeah,
It's better if you let the creditor close it out themselves because it doesn't affect your score as much.
Yeah. All right. Well, I mean, this was a great episode. We had a lot of interesting, informative things we spoke about. Anything else you want to leave with the audience?
Um, I can't really think of none. I think we good. And we'll see y'all next week.
See you next week.